ActionSA has made the first move to unite the opposition ahead of municipal elections next year. We speak to Mr. Herman Mashaba, whose ActionSA party has just merged with the Forum for Service Delivery. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. Always appreciate the opportunity.
Sir, how many municipality or how many municipal seats have you gained with this merger?
Well, just to really give you a sense of the magnitude and the significance of this is that when the president of or the leader of Forum for Service Delivery approached me in late September, when it invited him to my office, I thought this was was a dream, and I said, "Let's pursue it." And here is it. Finalized, obviously, took months of heavy discussions, including obviously making sure that we agree on Forum for Service Delivery coming into Action SA. And as you heard today, we now, as a party, Senate last week took a decision with our interim constitution to have a position of deputy president. So I'm excited now. There's a deputy president of our party. The party does not have to rely solely on Herman Mashaba and a fantastic human being. This party, Chris, it's represented in five provinces with 38 councillors and in 14 municipalities. So overnight, Action SA has got additional 38 councillors represented in 14 municipalities in five provinces. I mean, it's something that honestly I think on paper would, or if I talk to you right now, it wouldn't make sense. But it is real, and we've allowed this 38 councillors to have a dual membership, so that they don't lose their seats. So between now and the elections, as far as IEC is concerned, they will still remain as members of Forum for Service Delivery. But in terms of their work, being council or in their communities, they're going to be campaigning and working as Action SA the members. So it's exciting, and they are now obviously started. They've already started now getting people who voted them into power to know that they are now officially Action SA councillors, and as far as the public is concerned. And so it's exciting. And when we prepare for 2026, they officially, you'll see, they're going to contest as Action SA candidates, which is really very exciting. So yeah, no, it's exciting news, and this is the first of many. So this is the beginning. I'm sure you've read in the papers that Action SA it's involved with other parties. Yes, absolutely, I can confirm. At the moment, only two. We're still at the moment having informal discussions, but we'll see what happens. But we have identified massive opportunities throughout the countries, more especially at local government level, where a lot of community-based organization registered as political parties, they're sitting with the 5, 10 councillors and so forth. So I'm busy with negotiating to get as many as possible to do the same kind of an arrangement that we did with Forum for Service Delivery.
Mm. But you can't give us any hints as to which parties you are talking to at the moment.
Well, look, I mean, I don't have to really lie to society. The informal discussions we are having is with BOSA and Rize
Mzansi?
Mzansi. Yes, those are the two we're having informal discussions, and we've agreed to let us conclude this one first, and then we can then start formal discussions with them. So I think, within the next coming days, weeks, and whatever, the formal discussions will begin. Are they going to be successful? You know what? We will only really know the success or failure once we've tried, but we're not going to miss all of them. We are going to see massive opportunities.
Sir, how is it going in Tshwane with the Action SA Mayor?
Oh my goodness, so that's something that makes me so immensely proud of the tough decision I had to take. Remember, Chris, this wasn't an easy decision, and it's something that just really happened um, um, uh, at a spur of a moment when I saw a serious threat, and I decided, no, I'm not going to wait to be killed. And today, what is 4 months later, when as I said, I'm forming a doomsday coalition. 4 months later, to be honest with you, I think, and perhaps I'm biased, and I'm happy to be biased. South Africa has never seen a mayor as hardworking, as respectful and committed public servant than we have in the city of Tshwane. We run a complex coalition, but if you look at how the teams are working together, including actually now the employees of the city, I mean, it's unbelievable how people have come to the party to assist. Because before it was very difficult because they were in a hostile environment. Now, all of a sudden, people are actually putting so much of their time. I'm sure if you follow the developments in Tshwane, as I'm speaking to you now in the rain, people are cutting grass in Mamelodi, in Otakloof, in Lodi and Mamelodi, fixing street lights. Actually, was it this morning? I saw one of someone's tweet saying uh, the last time my township had street lights was after the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. You know, this is really, I think, for me, it gives me such great satisfaction. And we'll work towards ensuring that this coalition actually finishes their term up to leading up to 2026.
And water in Hammanskraal, what, for the first time in 20 years? How
Yeah,
long has it
my
been?
goodness. Oh man, it were almost 20 years, and yeah, really very pleased. We fought this. I'm sure, Chris, you know, we fought this from 2021 immediately after the formation of Action SA. We actually using my own money. We ran um, a commission of inquiry using a retired judge to head that commission for 2 days. That report, we made it available to the public. You gave it to the city of Tshwane, but they refused to attend the proceedings. We were having for the 2 days plus minus 200 people of the community giving their submissions, officials of the city and so on. But the government at the time refused to participate. But I went myself to go and hand over to give them the report, which they did nothing about it. But what is actually even more sad is the fact that after the 2021 local government elections, we put the DA into government ourselves without their their readiness, because they pulled out of negotiations with us 2 days before the first sitting of council. And I mobilized, I'm sure this is on record, I mobilized other parties to say, to avoid ANC, let's vote the DA into power without their knowledge. And this took them by surprise. I'm sure you can remember that incident in Ekurhuleni, because Ekurhuleni were the first ones to do to run the election of the speaker, followed by Johannesburg, and the following day we're in Tshwane. And now we co-governing with them. We said, can you guys please give us the report on this rival, including the appointment of the tender, the awarding of the tender to Edwin Sodi's company. They refused, forcing us. You can imagine governing with a partner refusing to disclose such critical information, forcing us to come out with a motion which we presented to council. Got failed. That the government was forced by council resolution to make this report. to be made public. And I can tell you they did not disclose everything. And obviously, we made sure that this attracts the attention of national government, because obviously the ANC, having failed before DA, they then, fortunate enough in the process, the Minister of Water at national level came to the city to negotiate the intervention. And yes, it is through the intervention of national government where they put in money to build the 4 modules to supply people of Amanskral with clean water. And you saw last week the first module, clean water, it's there for people of Amanskral. End of February, the second module will come through end of April, and by end of June, the entire area of Amanskral will have clean water. And that's something that makes me proud to be a public servant, to hold government accountable. And to think, you remember, the other day I was actually talking to 2 of my colleagues, with Athol Tolip and Michael Herman, our national chair. We were talking generally about some of the issues. And I said to them, something that deeply hurt me during the time when I was insulted about Tshwane, that they ran a massive campaign with graphics showing me with the city burning, Herman Mashaba in the middle looking at money. And that's when I said, my goodness, and running this campaign, that my motivation around the removal of TA was driven by the city's money. To think that even ActionSA does not pay me. I don't really get paid by any government. I don't get paid by ActionSA, and I'm one of the big funders of this political party, and I'm really very proud about this. But you can imagine as a person. So I was saying to Michael and Athol to say, you can imagine. I said, guys, anyone outside Herman Mashaba cannot really feel the pain. Sometimes people don't understand when something has not happened to you. If, like, let's say you lose your family member, other people can come and to give you condolences, but they can't share your pain. Now you can imagine sharing the pain of Herman Mashaba being millions of money and massive propaganda being launched that this is a corrupt person, is driven by corruption. In the meantime, people of Amanskral were dying. Over 30 people died of that cholera. Places where I come from, but it's not about where I come from. It's about our people actually in this country dying of undrinkable water because of government and not providing services to people. But look, that is behind me. Right now, your question was about NACP and our coalition partners. Pray that they keep on doing what they're doing right now. Really, it's unbelievable. Well, this morning they had a make-up meeting, and I was given the feedback on of the interactions. It really gives me such immense pleasure, and give me the appreciation of the privilege that God has given me to be able to do this terrible job.
Lastly, sir, please tell our viewers more about the new deputy leader of Action SA.
Okay. Dr. Kekana, really, I mean, this guy and his party, unbelievable what they've actually achieved with literally no resources or limited resources. For them, they are now 10 years old, from 2014, and contested again in 2021 in the local government, which for them to have 38 councillors in 14 municipalities. They have the mayor of Ditsobot, like very troublesome municipality. So I've got a lot to do in my hands, because at the end of the day now, as I'm talking to you, it's a water municipality. We Action SA is responsible, So we as a matter of agency, we need to go and help him to really get the community, get the private sector in the area to see how best they can help in turning that municipality around. Dr. Gekana, as I say, it's someone with a postgraduate diploma qualifications, PhD in political science. He's got an LLB. He's an amazing person involved in human rights matters, involved in government, fighting corruption. So that's why, as a party, we had to take this difficult decision, but necessary decision, to have him as the deputy president of the party to assist me, because he's someone who's bringing such wealth of experience in terms of on the ground type structures. Because I mean, their achievement had nothing to do with money, it had to do with the ability and the knowledge of how to mobilize people with limited resources. So he's going to be taking over that responsibility, working with all our provincial chairpersons, working with all our structures all over the country, so that I can focus on the big picture. And I'm asking South Africans, and I said this today in the press conference, that because obviously a question was asked about why I'm not in parliament. And I said, you remember I explained to you at the time when, after the elections, to say, I think I can play a strategic role outside parliament. Because if you look at our 6 parliamentarians led by Athol in parliament, those guys are amazing. The records are there in parliament in terms of effective, constructive opposition. No one has actually ever participated since the elections, since the formation of the 7th administration, an ActionSA, with only 6 members. When I gave them the mandate, I said, guys, you must go in there to go and box as 60 people. And I honestly believe, as I say, sometimes I'm biased, they box like they're more than 60. Yeah, and the thing is, the evidence is there where we can show you the type of questions and so forth. If you look at the last few days, when it talks to accountability in parliament, where ActionSA, once in parliament, we started asking really very difficult questions, because with every 70% of parliamentarians being in one block, covering for one another. And unfortunately, MK, as the 3rd biggest political party, if you look at the questions we've asked compared to them, so we more to, so that's a role that we obviously like to continue playing. But at the same time, I think this gives me the appointment of Dr. Gekana as our deputy president. It's going to take so much weight from me on the issues I've just raised, so that I can really concentrate on strategic issues of actual growth of our party, and something I'm committed to.
Thank you. That was Mr. Herman Mashaba, Action SA's leader, speaking to Biz News after he made the first move to unite the opposition ahead of the municipal elections next year. Thank you, sir. And I'm Christine.
Thank you.